Yeah. All that countdown stuff. Welcome, everybody. I'm here with Jack and Dave. You can see that. Jack, welcome to the Premier League preview show on Cop On. How's it going, Jack?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you very much for having me on. Obviously, bonfire night anyway, so hopefully everyone's having a lovely evening and looking after the animals, most importantly. But cheers for having me on, mate.
Absolute pleasure. Dave from Dave's LFC Chats, delight to have you with us as well, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. Friday night, loving it. A Peroni in the hand. Loving it, baby.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, excellent. There's a nice delay between the pictures and the voice. It's I don't know. It's like the delay between my mind and my mouth when I try and speak and stutter a bit. But there you go. Let's have a look at some stuff. I'm going to share my screen because I've been doing some preparation of all things for the Premier League preview show. So we're going to share all this all of my window here. You can see all this. This is the table as it goes. This is the table: Chelsea, Liverpool, City, West Ham, Man United, Arsenal, Wolves, Brighton, etc., etc. We're going to start by looking at the first game of the weekend. It's Southampton against Aston Villa. It kicks off in an hour. Southampton, if you look, I don't know if you can see this table at the bottom there, but Southampton are 14th and Villa 15th. 10 points and 11 points. If Southampton win, they go 4 points clear of Villa. Villa just 3 points off the drop zone. Dave, I'm going to start with you. Do you reckon Dean Smith is grossly underachieving, or do you reckon that there'll be, he just needs more time, or do you reckon he's doing all right? What's the situation at Villa? Four losses in a row.
Weird one. It's a weird one at Villa Park. I don't know what to expect from Villa. They had a brilliant season. What was it, 2 seasons ago? They were really hard to beat. Playing some football. They lost Grealish, of course. They got big money for them. But they're just not the same team. I think they're soft. They've a soft underbelly. I mean, I can't believe Southampton are actually ahead of them in the table. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? And Southampton, you'd fancy Southampton tomorrow being at home against them as well to do them over. I think Aston Villa could be in trouble. If they get beaten tomorrow by Southampton, they could get sucked into that abyss, the black hole abyss of the bottom three, as they call it, and relegation area. If they lose that tomorrow, and I think Southampton might do them tomorrow, I can't believe Aston Villa, what they've become ever since they sold Grealish. They're just not the same team.
It's very strange, isn't it? Grealish is very good. I mean, he's statistically, he created more chances than any other player in the Premier League last season. But Jack, it's looking bad for them. If you look at their goals against here, they're 19. They've conceded 19 goals and scored 14. So scoring wise isn't really a problem. They're ahead of, for example, Tottenham in 9th place have only scored 9 goals. So Aston Villa have scored 14 goals. They're doing all right. But defensively, they're worse than Burnley, Leeds, and Watford, and all of those teams have been shocking defensively this season. So there you go. What do you make of it? What's going on at Villa?
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy, as Dave's alluded to there, mate. I think the emphasis on Jack Grealish, obviously, they've translated that with obviously signings of Bailey, obviously from the Bundesliga. Danny Ings has been in and out through injury already this season. And the other lads, whoever, it's completely gone out yet, but the other lad that he did sign as well to complement the departure of Grealish, mate, as Dave alluded to, Dean Smith, it's not quite worked out for him this season. I think a lot of pressure has come on Aston Villa, given the money that he sold for Grealish. Tyrone Mings, he's been out injured or through suspension this season a couple of times, and obviously Matty Cash and obviously Taggart down the left-hand flank as well, and he got absolutely destroyed by West Ham. I know we obviously will talk about the big game for Liverpool this weekend, but I tell you, Aston Villa absolutely run them absolutely ragged. And I know West Ham will do that a couple of times to a lot of teams this season, but it's quite concerning how easy it is in certain games when we watch them on Match of the Day. Some of the goals he's been conceding have been quite disappointing from Dean Smith's point of view, mate.
Totally. Great answer. So a quick prediction from you guys. I've got this prediction table. Look at this, already prepared. Jack, what do you reckon? Southampton Villa?
Gonna go 2-0 Southampton.
2-0. Whoa, 2-0 Southampton. What do you think, Dave? Don't forget to unmute your mic. 2-1, you said. I saw that. 2-1. Okay.
2-1 Southampton.
2-1.
Yeah, I think Southampton will beat them.
I'm going to say 3-1. So, yeah, there you go. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's move on then. Let's move on to something that's altogether much more enticing a prospect. From the first one to the last one, let's talk about the big one. West Ham, Liverpool, the last game of the weekend. Sunday. Okay. Wow, Jack. West Ham, Liverpool. You just interviewed a couple of people for your channel, didn't you? So talk about your channel. Tell everybody about your channel and tell us what did you talk about? West Ham, Liverpool.
Yeah, cheers for the shout out, Owen. Hopefully we'll get Owen throughout the season on my channel as well. Just had 3 great West Ham lads on as well. Anton, Jay, and obviously Bill. We've all got West Ham channels, fantastic. And as I said, as I was saying to you, Owen, before we come on air, the West Ham are absolutely flying. I think they only lost points out, obviously, to the Manchester United game. I think Mark Noble had that opportunity to get the equaliser, but they could still, with Liverpool, be unbeaten. But sadly, they got beat against United. But they've been massively impressed with David Moyes. Obviously, they finished 2-3 points off Liverpool in the Premier League, or off the Champions League spots anyway last year, and they've continued that run of momentum. You've seen Antonio. I think for me personally, if I was to pick 1 or 2 players, it'd be Declan Rice and Antonio. I think Antonio in a Liverpool system, Jurgen Klopp would absolutely love him because he's very versatile. He can play right back, left mid, all over the place. But most importantly, he does get you goals as well. And he would offer something that Liverpool currently haven't got in terms of versatility and his ability to get that goal, get the goals anyway, mate. But yeah, they were massively impressed. Absolutely, they're flying, and it will not be an easy game, mate. Hopefully, Liverpool will get all 3 points, but it won't be as easy as I think a lot of people are expecting. I know we've got a very good record going to their grounds, most importantly, but you can only play what you've. But Declan Rice, I tell you what, mate, I don't know how Dave feels and you feel, mate, and everyone at home. Declan Rice, I know I was speaking to a lot of the West Ham lads. I've known him for a couple of years now, but he's always been a player that has been linked to Liverpool and the top clubs. But I think most importantly, they were waxing lyrical in terms of how he's developed, especially over the last 6 to 8 month period. He's really, and even they were shouting, he's probably the best West Ham midfielder they've seen in their lifetime. Obviously, a couple of the lads are like 38. Obviously, Michael Carrick, what a player, but they feel he's better than Michael Carrick.
Wow. Yeah, no, high praise indeed. No, I have noticed he's been playing out of his skin. I'd have a few of their players, Dave. I'd have Souček. I'd have Declan Rice, definitely. Mikel Antonio's a good shout. Jared Bowen, of course, who we were linked with. He's a really dangerous player, and it's going to be, as tough as my mum's apple tart on Sunday. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a 2-1 for me, for Liverpool. I think Liverpool have beaten you. Great record against them recently. They play football. They press like us. So they're going to attack us. They're not going to sit back, which will suit us. They're at home. We'll catch them on the counter. And the likes of Salah, Mane and Jota, who probably will start because Bobby's out injured. So I think we'll beat them. But Gerard Bowen looks good. I wouldn't be surprised if we went in for him. I know we've been linked with him maybe next summer. He looks a proper player. I did a video 6 months ago on him, and I was laughed off the chat going, who the hell are you talking about? But he's a proper player. Antonio up front is an absolute handful. Souček, is that what we call him? The defender?
Souček. The defender, Soufal. I mean, they've got so many good players. They're actually a proper team. They're not a team of individuals like Man United. They're an actual footballing team.
And I mean, I think if they beat us on Sunday, they go second. That tells you everything. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to beat us. I think we will beat them. But I mean, Moisey, he had a hard time. He did a good job at Everton, a good solid job at Everton. He didn't get time at United, to be fair. Everybody knows Ferguson sort of picked them and stuff like that. So that was always going to go against them. But he's doing a really good job at West Ham. Really good job at West Ham. And I just hope it ends on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you mentioned we have got a good record against them. You look at this fact, since doing the league double over Liverpool in 2015-16, West Ham are winless in their last 10 Premier League games against the Reds, drawing 2 and losing 8. So our record against them is absolutely fantastic in the Premier League. But it will change. I mean, their general improvement of their players and their team it's been very steady and swift at the same time for David Moyes. So it's going to be so difficult. But looking at us, Jack, for this game, they can't be happy playing us because it looks like Fabinho's. Well, I mean, he played the other night, so it looks like I haven't heard any kind of recurrence of any injury. So Fabinho will be fit. Thiago, who just looked like gravy and mustard the other day, didn't he? He was terrific. And then, of course, no Bobby, but an informed Diogo Jota, Sadio Mane, who's just been brilliant, I think, this season. Yeah. And they can't be happy going up against us. Trent's fit. We got some centre backs. What do you reckon? Where are our strengths? You reckon just hitting them on the break or keeping the ball more?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I know Dave said they will obviously Liverpool will look to counter attack them, but by all means, by the sounds of it, what the lads were saying, the West Ham lot, they were saying they will hopefully. David Moyes has learned his lesson in recent games and will look to, hopefully, potentially, they were saying West Ham will look to counter-attack Liverpool as much as Liverpool will hope to play our game, but we've got to be very wary. And they pinpointed yet again, like a lot of teams have done against Brighton, most importantly as well. Last week wasn't our best game in midfield. They were looking to identify Trent as good as we all want Trent going forward, and I think Trent will be very pivotal, like in most games for Liverpool. I think given how big the Olympic Stadium is, and in recent times, it's a stadium that we can demand and keep hold of possession and very much stretch. We all know how good Salah's been in recent times, mate, as you alluded to. Then Salah can stretch this pitch, and obviously you mentioned Jota. There's so much space for Liverpool to get in behind, but that if you can flip that on the other side, that's still space for West Ham as well. I'm very intrigued, and I'm pretty sure it will be a massive game for Trent, because I think if Liverpool to get 3 points, I think if we can kind of try and isolate their midfielders, obviously Declan Rice, Souček as well, Pablo Fornals and Ben Rahman and Jared Bowen as well, they tend to play a 4-2-3-1, so if Liverpool can get that extra man in the midfield in the middle of the park, then it's going to be a big game for Ox if he does play. He's got a good record against the London side, most importantly. Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, they're the main midfielders that are injury-free at the minute, but whoever plays, it'll be a massive game in the middle of the park, mate.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? The choice is tough. Also at centre-back, but there's just a really interesting fact that Liverpool have scored 19 goals in their first 5 away Premier League games this season, with only 2 sides in the history of English top flight ever scoring more at this stage. Manchester United in 1907-08 and Manchester City in 2011-12, which of course was the season that ended in the Aguero super goal, which I celebrated. I mean, that was a fabulous moment, wasn't it? I mean, wow, to deny United the title, but wow, that was hilarious. But anyway, Dave, who are you picking in midfield and at centre back?
I'll give you my whole team if you want, but well, obviously we know Alisson's going to be in goal. Anyway, centre back is Van Dijk and VVD for me. It just has to be. We've an international
Van Dijk and VVD.
Oh, Van Dijk. I'd love that. That would
Oh, wait,
be
imagine
Yeah.
Van Dijk's
Great.
swing day, hopefully.
his brother has come out of the closet, Van Dijk and VPT. That would be good.
Vincent.
But
Vincent
Van Dijk,
Van Dijk.
Matip, I mean, has to be. He's a lovely,
Okay.
lovely, got his haircut lovely and tight, and he played very well against Atletico midweek. So they're the pairing for me at the moment.
Okay.
That's just the way it's got to be. Van Dijk and Matip are fit, they play. I would play Fabinho. He was back to his best against Atletico Madrid. Henderson as well, it's the club captain. And of course, I would actually give Ox another game because he had such a good game against Atletico. He needs a run of games, and he's going to have another 2-week break now because of the international break. But I think he deserves a start. That's the three. Also, it gives us options going forward, gives us something different. And Ox can probably go much more forward than he would like with the likes of Fabinho and Henderson in behind him, doing a bit of security in behind him. So that's, I don't think we have much options on this weekend with injuries. So I think that's it. The front three will be the front three. Bobby's injured, out for a month.
And Robertson at left back.
No, I'd actually give Tsimikas. I'd leave Tsimikas in there with Trent and Alisson. That'd be my team.
And would you sort of, instruct us to sort of defend not play a super high line, because that would play into West Ham's hands, to cover for the lack of
I don't think Klopp's going to change his tactics for West Ham. You know what I'm saying? He's just not going to change his tactics. I think we just play like the way we always play. We're a better team than West Ham, guys. Let's be real. West Ham are a really good side, good Premier League side. We are a better team, man for man. We go there, we play our A game, we win the game.
Yeah, I mean, going forward, we're crazy good, aren't we? I mean, 50 goals in our last 20 games, and we're unbeaten. It's crazy kooky times. Jack, what's your prediction?
It's a good question, that mate. And Dave knows I'm mad. I'm pretty sure I always do my crazy one. Got me Man United one correct, so I go
5-0.
Yes, at 5-0.
Wow.
Once in a blue moon. I didn't put.
Should have put a few quid on it.
Yeah, I think I literally looked before the game, lads, as well. Something told me, don't.
I said 5-2, but there you go. 5-0 is a very bold prediction. What about this one then? Mystic Jack.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool,
yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a very tight game, but I'll go 2-1, mate.
What about you, Dave?
2-1 again. Oh, yeah. And Mo Salah and Mane again. That'll be maybe Antonio might get one for them, but 2-1 the Reds, yep.
I'm going for 3-2 because I don't think anyone can stop us going forward. I don't think anyone can stop this team going forward. We've got holes at the back, like an expensive pair of jeans. So I think it's going to be 2 Liverpool. I still think we're going to win. I can see them scoring twice, no matter who we play at the back, because it's that kind of season. Okay, let's just talk about one other game, and then just if we got time, look at some more predictions. Or if not, then that's okay. A few comments coming in. Doug's here. Great to see you. Great to see you, Doug. Yeah, Jack is quite accurate. Jack is always fabulously on the money. But great to have you with us, Doug. So Man United, Man City is the only other game we'll have a very quick chat about. Man United versus Man City. Dave, going to you first. What are your thoughts on this one?
United, it's at Old Trafford. I actually think United might get something out of this game, lads. I know it might sound funny and stuff like that, but they always raise their game against Man City. They've actually not a bad record. You look back over the last 2-3 seasons, they did the double over them recently in the league, and we're all over the bloody shop. I think Varane is a big doubt, is not playing for them, so that's a big loss. I think they might get a 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw. You're very generous to them. I reckon City are going to trample all over them.
I don't think so.
I do. No, I think without Varane as well. I think it's going to be like the elephants running over,
City have choked
trampling
there.
the
City
local.
has choked there a few times, lads. Let's be
I
real.
know that's true.
You know?
That's true because Guardiola wants to play 5D football and he's overcomplicated things. But he seems to have learned this season not to overcomplicate things. He hasn't
Plus he's
learned.
not used to a 70,000+ crowd cheering in the Breeze
Yeah,
Stadium.
he's used to empty stadiums, isn't he? It's the permanent lockdown at the Etihad. But yeah, Jack, what do you reckon?
Hopefully it's in United win because Ollie stays in the job even longer.
Yeah.
Even a draw, he stays in the job, Jack.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the most Ollie game going. It has been since he's been in charge at United. United win like 5 games on the bounce, and then they'll have that Liverpool game and the Atalanta game sandwiched in between. Even they got lucky against Atalanta getting that draw yet again. Ronaldo bailing. There's going to come a time and point where Ronaldo literally full on downs tools. He'll have enough. He'll be like, sod this. And there's probably going to be a disagreement between him and Harry Maguire, Ronaldo. Because obviously Ronaldo on his Instagram yesterday took the team out for a team meal. The captain of Man United should be doing that, not Cristiano Ronaldo. But I'm hoping for United to win. But as you both alluded to, and everyone at home, it could be it's Jekyll and Hyde. What United turns up, is it going to be the positive United that could possibly get a 3-0 win, or is it going to coincide with a dominant performance like we've seen with Liverpool coming to Old Trafford? And it literally, because it is a possibility, could be 6-0 at half time. City are that good, aren't they? So yeah, my head is going with Man City, but something's telling me that United will somehow get some points out of this game.
I looked at this the other day, though. It's the form table, right, in the last 5 matches. Man United is 17th in the form table. So Man City are basically up against the 17th place team in terms of form. Of course, it's just the last 5 matches, but look at Wolves at the top. Amazing. Bruno Lage, Lager. Reminds me of the 90s. Excellent stuff. And, but Liverpool in 6th, Man City in 5th, West Ham in 3rd. So, that tells you what's going on this weekend. But basically, in terms of form, Dave, it's 5th versus 17th. You're not going to change your opinion, Dave? Get a quick prediction for you for the score?
No, I think United will show up. The fans will demand it. You could have said the same thing about Liverpool. That where are you going to show up against Liverpool? But they always seem to do it against City. They always seem to defy the odds against them. Listen. City could turn up. United could literally defrost that fridge. Maguire could defrost again, like he did against us, and he could get hammered 3 or 4-0. It is a possibility, but I think this is one of these games where any scoreline's possible. It could be a win, home win, away win, draw. City are the favourites with the bookies. But City form hasn't exactly been 10 out of 10 either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they lost. I know they were down to 10 men, but they were poor against Crystal Palace last week. So I think United might get a draw here. I really do.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you're going for a 1-1. What about you, Jack?
I know I've just said that about United, but I'm going to go City 7-1.
7-1.
I'm open. So yeah, I'm going to go 7-1. 7-1 to City.
I can imagine it. I really can. I think this is going to be a trouncing of trouncings. I think it could be.
If it's 7-1, Ole is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave, he's going nowhere. He can literally lose 10-1. He's there, man. The owners love him. The fans despise him. And yeah, he's a yes man for them. And long may that continue at Old Trafford because he won't win on. But I think, didn't City win 6-1 a couple of years ago? And that was even when Fergie was in charge. Whoever was in charge back then anyway. But yeah, it could get things. I'm going to go 7-1, yeah. I'm going
6-2. 6-2.
I'll be dancing in the garden, mate. I tell you that.
I won't, because it'll be the end of Ole. And he's
I
my
would
dream.
be. If it was
He's my
7-1 or
dream.
6-2, it'd be the end of Ole. I don't think that'd be it. That'd be it. Guys, I've got to run.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you very much for being here. Absolutely brilliant. I'll see you over on your channel soon.
Yeah, no panic. See you, boys.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Well, let's just go through the rest of the fixtures then for the last few minutes. So Brentford, Norwich. I've got a couple of facts going on the go here. Hang on. It's really good. I like these Google previews. Go on timeline here. It gives you some nice facts. The first ever top flight meeting between Brentford and Norwich. But the Bees are winless in their last 5 league meetings with the Canaries. Surely it's going to change. Isn't it? You know, Brentford, Norwich. Brentford at home. Norwich absolutely awful.
It's Norwich, mate. I watched them against Leeds because I think I had Leeds on Miaka, and it was shocking. Like Norwich, like what even is that? I know I've seen a couple of Doug shows as well, and he spoke to Norwich fans and yours, mate. If you're a Norwich fan, you're disappointed every single season. Obviously, their expectations are to survive in the league, but you don't even give it a go, do they? Like it's the same thing every season. But I think I'll go with I go with Brentford 3-0, mate.
3-0.
Yeah, Brentford 3-0, mate, for me.
3-0. I'm gonna go not so clear cut. I'm gonna go 2-0. Okay, Crystal Palace Wolves, the resurgent Crystal Palace against the resurgent Wolves. It's quite a tough one to predict. It'd be surprisingly a really good game. You know, if you compare this prospect compared to Hodgson versus Nuno teams, you know, I mean, this is going to be actually a very exciting game to watch, I think. Yeah,
probably apart from obviously the Liverpool games and obviously the United game, but I think this probably will be the best fixture this week. I mean, obviously given Crystal Palace beating City last week when we dropped points against Brighton, I'm excited for this. I'm gonna go 3-all. I think it could be. Yeah, I think it'll be counter-attack against counter-attack, and I think both sides in form. I think there'll be a lot of goals.
Yeah, very good. I think they're too organised. Well, I think Wolves are too organised for that. Yeah. They're too organised, I'm going to say, but I do think Palace will score 2. So there you go, 2-2 I'm going to go for as well. Okay, Chelsea, Burnley down there in the relegation zone, bottom 3, is this weekend whether Sean Dyche comeback starts. What do you think, Chelsea, Burnley?
I tell you, mate, if there's one side that love to, I think I remember the first fixture Burnley coming to the Premier League, and I think they were like 3-0 up at half time at Stamford Bridge in their very first game. So I don't think we'll see that Sean Dyche performance, but we know how difficult Burnley can be. But Chelsea, as we were saying just before we come on air, mate, they're absolutely flying, and I think it'll be the same dominant Chelsea side, but Burnley can frustrate sides. So, I'm going to go a 2-1 Chelsea, but it could be another 6-0, but I'm going to go with 2-1. I think Burnley make it difficult for them.
I'm going 4-0. I think I want to get really carried away with how brilliant Chelsea are because they've had such an easy run in October, playing the likes of Norwich and Newcastle. Now they're playing Burnley, also in the relegation zone. And I just think there's a huge gap between the top and the bottom of the Premier League. So I'm going to go 4-0. It just said there might have seen that very quickly. Chelsea have won their last 4 Premier League games against Burnley, scoring 12 and conceding twice. So they've got Sean Dyche's number. Tuchel as well. I mean, he's brilliant at frustrating teams. That's what I'm going for. Brighton, Newcastle. Another easy home win.
You'd think so with Newcastle. I mean, obviously, would this be Eddie Howe's first game? Is he installed properly?
Has he been installed? I don't know.
I think he did get, I don't know if any official confirmation, anyone in chat as well. But it's going to be a massive game. Yeah, if Howe is in charge, mate. But it's Brighton. If the Brighton that turns up against us in that second half, I think it'll be an easy win. And obviously, it'll be Brighton have surprise. But I can't go anywhere other than a Brighton win. I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton. I think
3-1 Brighton.
They'll have too much.
I totally agree. I think it's going to be an easy win. And that'll mean Newcastle could be, I think, 6 points away from
Relegation, is it?
relegation. I mean, from saving themselves from 17th place. Man, if they get relegated, that would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? But anyway,
Oh yeah.
Arsenal, Watford.
Oof. This yet again another big game, mate. Obviously Arsenal. I think Ramsdale. I think it was the first game last week on BT. I know we've all took the mickey out of Arsenal this season, and rightly so, because they've been an absolute shambles before the at the beginning of the season. But Watford, Jacqueline Hyde side yet again could possibly, if Watford do turn up, I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal, I think.
3-2 Arsenal,
I think there'll be a lot of goals in that.
Okay, Arsenal are fourth in the form table, 11 points out of 15, and Watford have 4 points from 15. But as you say, Jekyll and Hyde, they can be good on their day. But I don't think it will happen. So, sorry, you said 3-2 Arsenal?
Yeah, 3-2 Arsenal, mate. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 2-0. Okay, Everton Spurs, the first game in charge for Antonio Conte against Benitez, who's under pressure, surprisingly.
Raff it in. It's. I think if anyone didn't watch the Tottenham game midweek, I think they had there was 3 sending offs, not for Tottenham, but there was 3 sending offs in there. Europa League conference game, whatever you want to call it.
Wow, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mad one. Conte after the game saying he wasn't best you pleased because he's so sophisticated. He's a manager that likes control, classic Italian. But this probably will be the most tactical game this weekend. I think both managers love the analytics and everything, but I can't. It's a weird one, isn't it, mate? And everyone at home. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I can't see Everton scoring. Yeah, I'm going to go Spurs 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah,
okay,
Spurs.
Okay. Because Everton, they're missing all their key players, aren't they?
Calvert-Lewin's out as well.
A few of them are out. So I'm going to say, is Alan out as well?
I think so. He's had hamstring injuries, but even with him, mate, I think if Everton do play with Iwobi, I think all my Everton mates are fuming every time he plays a game of footy.
Oh no, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's not the best. I'm going to give 2-0 Spurs. I think it's going to be a perfect start for Conte. Clean sheet. I mean, I'd love to be in Liverpool to hear your Everton fans because they're such good value. Everton, the best rivals any Liverpool fan can dream of because they're just so funny. Yeah,
it's you never know what one you're going to get, mate. There's a lot of them are very well balanced. A lot of me mates, they're quite realistic as well. They just go, we're rubbish. Not to put it in nice terms anyway. But then you get the complete polar opposite. So we're the best team in Europe and so nana-minded. But how you doing, John? Cheers for dropping in, mate.
Hi, John. Great. Yeah, great to see you, John. Great, thanks for coming in.
But okay. Had a good laugh, mate.
I think the way that their club is run. Leeds, Leicester, the last one then, and then we're going to hop over to Dave's channel, aren't we? So Leeds versus Leicester City. Let's see if I can find anything interesting, any insights for this one. Hang on.
Leeds did win 2-1 last week, and I think Leicester are a weird one, aren't they, mate? And everyone in chat, it's. I know, Boyer, our good mate Anthony. He's been very disappointed in recent weeks about their performances, really. But it's a weird one. Brendan needs to get his act together. I think very much quick, most importantly.
I mean, this is to say that Leeds are looking to win consecutive league games against Leicester for the first time since December 1999, following their 3-1 win at the King Power Stadium in January. But the way Leeds have fallen since January, the tiredness, the fatigue, they're being carried by Rafinha, who's the one player who looks like he's getting better and better, and he's a dream signing as well for Liverpool, isn't he? But I think he's going to be someone to watch. For Leicester, I like the look of Daka. I like Soumare midfield. I like a few of their players as well. But it's going to be a tough one. I'm going to predict predict a Leicester win, but I reckon Rafinha's going to score. I'm going to say 3-1 Leicester with Pats and Daka on the score sheet, and Rafinha for Leeds. What about you?
Yeah, I go with 3-1, mate. Yeah, I
3-1
think,
as well,
but
okay.
it's you never know with Leicester, but so yeah, Bielsa won't settle for what the recent results in which he's had, mate. But yeah, there's actually loads of great fixtures this weekend. As long as the Reds
Yeah,
do get
we've
all 3
predicted
points.
tons of goals. This is like a
Yeah.
record week for goals scored according
Yes.
to our predictions. So yeah, hopefully it works out like that. With, of course, Liverpool at the end picking up 3 points, a hard-earned 3 points. Thank you so much for chatting to me, Jack. It's been absolutely wonderful. And we'll just jump straight over to Dave's channel. So if you're watching this, Dave's LFC Chat. Follow Jack as well, Jack Mac LFC. Everybody subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, speak to you very soon. Cheers.
See you later, Reds.